question, do I still use credit cards for certain expenses? Yes, I do. And in this section here, I'm going to show you how I leverage my credit while also with using my sinking funds and my cash envelopes. So I just wrote down some general expenses here for things I typically use my credit card for throughout the month. These amounts aren't exact, but just to give you a visual. So if you want to use your credit card every month, right, you can use your credit card. Credit cards are great for points and rewards, but you need to be using your credit responsibly. I use my credit card throughout the entire month, but I pay it off in full at the end of the month. I don't recommend this if you are drowning in credit card debt, anything like that. This is not for you. If you're not responsible with credit, this is not for you. But what I go ahead and do for most of my prescriptions, my grocery orders, because I do typically have them delivered, when we order DoorDash, when I order off of Amazon, shopping online for Target or Sam's Club, I go ahead and track these expenses. So I write them here in my expense tracker, and I make sure I add what category they're going to be coming out of. But at the end of the month, what I do is come back to this sheet and I go ahead and pull all of this money out of these select funds, and I go deposit it into my bank account so that I can pay off that credit card in full. So with the entire month, I'm able to leverage my credit, get the points, get what I need. I don't have to pay cash for everything, right? But I'm still being able to pay my bill in full because I pulled this money from my paycheck still, right? The money's home in the envelope. So when it's time to pay the bill, I know, okay, well, I only had, $100 in groceries for this week. So when I shopped at Sam's and I shopped in groceries, I looked at my expense tracker and said, okay, well, I already spent $50 on groceries, so I only have 50 left. So that's why 28 was only spent at Sam's. So I know that I have the $100 at home to cover the expense. I hope that makes sense. So you want to still stay within your budget while using your credit card. And you can only do that if you expense track so that you can visually see how much is left from each fund while you're using your card. And again, pay your bill in full before the statement date even lands, right? If you pay it before your statement is generated, you're not even charged any interest. So you're getting all those rewards for the spending, but you're not having to pay the penalty of an interest payment. Do I use a credit card? Yes. How do I use a credit card as well as cash stuffing? Let me show you how. The first thing I do is expense track. So on this particular credit card, I only use it for sinking funds, meaning I only spend money on things I have a sinking fund for. So as you can see here, I'll go through and I categorize these and write out how much each charge was. And I'll go ahead and leave them on this expense tracker. At the end of the month, what I'll do is go through the funds. So let's go ahead and look at one here. Okay, so we see here for Target, we spent $67.20. So what I would do if it was time to pay the credit card is go here into my low priority funds. I would go to my Target envelope and I would pull out the amount I needed. I could make change if I needed change, but I'd pull this amount. It would go in a little pile, and once I was finished and I collected all of these expenses here, I would just go deposit it into my account and pay off the credit card balance. I do this without messing up my credit by paying the bill on time, but I also pay it before the statement generates. So that means not when they send you something saying X amount is due. I called into my credit card company, asked when the statement would be printed, and I pay it a few days before that. So when I get the statement, my bill shows a very low balance, but it also shows that I've been using the card. So I get the points, I get the rewards, but I don't have to pay interest on this huge amount. Hope this helps.
My crisp bills routine. Wash and sanitize. Voila!
So first up here we have rent, and to our rent we are going to be adding $500. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So our new total in here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 1,000, 1100, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, $2,100 in our rent envelope. All right, up next is utilities. And to utilities, we're going to be adding $50. So in here we have 50, 100, 150, 170, 190, 200. All right, in T-Mobile, we're going to be adding $40. So I'm gonna grab a 20 and another 20 here. So in here we now have 100, 120, 140, 150, 160, 165 towards that phone bill, which is a little over what we need for the month actually. AT&T, our internet, will be receiving $30. So I'm just gonna grab a 20 and a 10. All right, and here we have 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 20, 40, 60, 80, 90, 200, 210, 220. So we're way over what the bill costs, but we're moving to a new service. So I've been trying to add extra to, you know, they have activation fees and equipment fees. Storage is going to be getting $60. So in here, let's do 20. So 20, 40, $60. Remember, my storage is where I house my inventory for my business. 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 20, 40, 60, 70, 80. So we have 180 in here. I believe the total amount is, we moved to a bigger one, so it's like 230 now. So I actually need to add a little extra in here, which I will with my side hustle income. Self-lender is getting its normal $10. Okay, so you have 40 bucks in there. It's just $10 a week. Streaming services are getting $20. We actually went up on this one. 20, 30, 40, 50, 65. We started using Apple TV, so we'll buy a show once a week or something. So I added an extra 10.